Can we start the show, please?
Shut the fuck up.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Your product, faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Your product, faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck.
Good morning and welcome to the Hard Luck Show. I'm your certified host, Steve Lucky Luciano. Got my man in the house, the Indian.
Yeah, Chumahan, elegant barbarian.
And the audio and visual genius,
ATM.
Blue Eyes himself.
That's right.
Oh, suspense.
Hey, we've got a guest on tonight, recurring, part of the Hard Luck family, and the It's All Bad podcast family, Ukrainian Danny.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up,
Danny?
I'm tagging you right now in this little post right here.
Hell yeah! As soon as I plug my phone.
Oh,
I'm-
yeah.
As soon
You
as
know
I
what?
get-
Don't worry. We're gonna get that figured out in a little while. I'm gonna get you
I'm
a
not
charger.
worried.
Jim.
I mean,
I'm
this guy's an electrical engineer. Before you know it, he'll have it figured out to a car battery.
Yeah, all that.
They call it the Ukrainian hookup.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
What's up, man? What's
up,
going
man?
on?
Good to see you guys. It's good to be back.
A
you
lot
know?
has happened.
A lot. Yeah.
Since
a lot.
we
Uh-huh.
last talked. No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that's
He's got water.
foremost.
He's good. He's got water.
He's got
Got
water.
water, uh-huh.
The foremost thing on my mind, more than anything else, of course, is
Is?
Russia's attack on the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And is it even right to say the Ukraine? My wife gets on my ass every time I say the Ukraine because she's like, it's not the Ukraine.
It's Ukraine. You
It's
know?
just Ukraine, right?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Well, it's like, do you say the America? The U. But you say the
Sometimes
USA.
I do say the US of A.
The US of
I actually
A.
The
know that.
Americas.
No, I actually.
The America.
I use I actually use that argument on my wife in defense. I was like, I don't say the America, but I do say the U.S. of A.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, the point is,
They
a
got
lot
the
of-
cancer. They got the cancer.
right.
Right.
The weed, the marijuana, right?
They got the weed.
Is he on the weed?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So a lot has happened in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody thought it was going to be. I mean, not the Ukrainians, obviously, but
Hell no.
the general common understanding of the conventional wisdom was, hey, Putin, he's an ex-KGB calculated genius, right? And he's going to go in there with Russia's tanks, and it's going to take about 48 hours.
Yeah.
Ukraine's going to capitulate. No one fought for the Crimea. Where was NATO then? Right?
Yeah.
Right? And then what happened?
And look at us now. You know, how many months in are we? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
fuck.
We're like day 289.
Yeah.
And
Fuck Putin in the side
Straight
of the
up.
neck
Fuck
too.
Putin.
Fuck
Yep.
that motherfucking lame.
And we're also in a situation, right, where the latest reports are that the Ukrainians are pushing the Russians back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
I mean, you saw the bridge.
Oh, how beautiful was
Yeah,
that?
brother.
Dude.
I don't know if
That
people.
shit got me fucking my they gave me chicken skin, bro. When I was watching.
I don't know if people understand what that bridge actually means. Right, like that. There was a-
major post hold, right?
Well, so I think yes. The answer to your question is yes. And Danny, how long had Russian imperialists been trying to build that bridge to cross that water so that they could claim, control, and supply armies that were occupying Ukraine? How long have they been trying to do that?
Forever. I mean, for
For
That's
fucking
forever.
ever.
Forever. Yeah.
We're going back to like czars and shit have constantly thought about, we need to just build a bridge because it's too hard to fucking send troops and supplies and bullshit over. We're
Right.
going to put in a fucking thing. And people don't know this, but in that body of water, the ground is actually underneath the ocean is not stable. So it took a lot of engineering. And it was like a pet project of Putin.
Yeah.
Right? Because basically, if you had like a small dick, you'd want to build a long bridge.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? I ain't saying he's got a small dick, but.
But,
There you go.
but I'm also not saying.
right.
So,
Yeah.
in terms of your experience, Danny, being here, can you share a little bit about what you've sort of gone through and what you've seen during this process?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so I was born in Kiev. You know, that's where I was born.
That's right, man.
I was born in 19. Yeah,
That's where the hookups at.
yeah,
My grandfather's from Kiev, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
Best
1985.
chicken in the world.
The guy may be
Delicious
related
chicken.
to me.
Yeah.
The guy might be my blood fucking somewhere.
If I wasn't too weirded out by 23andMe and all that stuff, we would probably know by now.
Well, we definitely know you guys like the dry goods. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All kinds of dry, smokable dry goods. Yeah. So I was born in Kiev, you know, 1985, Soviet Union. My uncle moved here in the 80s. He was a jazz producer, you know, and he moved here and he sponsored us, and he sponsored us to move here as Jewish refugees, you know.
Awesome.
And you needed a sponsor at that time.
You needed a
in order
sponsor
to
at
do
that
it.
time.
Can
yeah.
you quickly just describe what a sponsor is for immigration?
So sponsors, like, so it's somebody that moves in. It's somebody that will say that when you come here, they will support you. So you're not so you're not living off of GR and you're not living off the country. And they basically will provide housing for you, food, and take care of any medical necessities for you
so
when
that's
you arrive.
The concept is they'll foot the bill so the
Yeah.
taxpayer doesn't.
Exactly.
Got
yeah.
it. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Exactly.
And then, so you
yeah.
come over here.
So we come and we're waiting. We're in the green card lottery, that whole thing. The Soviet Union falls in 91 and 92. We get approved, you know?
Right.
So we jump on. First we went to.
Is the Soviet Union falling? Was that like shaky? Was that like for you guys like fuck? We might not fucking get out.
Dude, I remember. Okay, I mean, I was young, you know, and I didn't know, but I remember there was a statue of Lenin in the center of town, you know. So it's like in the Hollywood, like, you know, I don't even know how to like describe it, you know, and like in the Hollywood, I don't know if it's like a Hollywood Boulevard, you know, like let's say on Hollywood and Highland, there was a statue of
Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
yeah, Ronald Reagan.
That's who I was gonna say,
Okay.
Ronald
All right,
Reagan.
all right.
And your entire childhood, you go there and you see the statue.
It's
bro.
always
You know,
there.
It's this huge fucking statue. You're there, you know. And then one day you look out of your window, and this is just my experience. Cause I was a kid, I was 6 years old. You know, you look out of your window and you see tanks on your street, and you're like, "What the fuck? Why is there tanks?" You know,
Wow.
I've played with little tanks. I played with why is there tanks? And these tanks go and they pull up to this fucking statue of Ronald Reagan, which happened to be our Lenin, you know.
Right.
And they chain it up and they yank it out of the ground.
Holy
you know?
fuck.
And I remember seeing that and being like, "Whoa." I don't know what the fuck is going on, but this is huge. This is monumental. you know?
So in some ways, I'm not going to say it's the same thing, but in some ways, the monumental aspect of the change, like you said, you don't know what's going on, but clearly something happened.
Something's happening. Oh,
Right.
yeah. Something's
Like Twin Towers going down
Yeah.
changed everything,
Yeah.
right? Right?
Yeah.
Like you don't know exactly what's up, but the world's not going to be the same after this. So then what happens?
So we go. So I remember it's funny because, you know, it's like I grew up on, like, you know, on gefilte fish and borscht and food like that, you know. And I remember we went to go get our citizenship, and my dad and I, we took a train to Moscow to go to the
big
embassy.
city.
Yeah, the big city. And it was right after the fall of the Soviet Union, and they got their first McDonald's.
Shut the fuck up.
And I remember my dad taking me to McDonald's and going, "Hey, we're gonna have this is American food, and we're gonna be eating this soon."
What was
you know?
that like? What in your
Oh,
mind?
man.
Could you imagine?
Get used to these French fries and Happy
Yeah.
Meals,
Oh,
boy. Because we're going to be doing this
sailing
all
on
the
the-
time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, like he got me a fucking a Happy Meal, of course. You know, I'm a kid, he got me a Happy Meal and a strawberry sundae, you know.
Yeah.
And I ate it, and I remember thinking, this is the best fucking food I've ever had. I'm gonna eat this every day until the day I die. Every day, you know.
Dude,
It's
that's
on.
awesome,
It's
bro.
on and popping,
You're eating
you know?
borscht and gefilte fish, and then you get
That
a whole
doesn't come in
fucking
a
burger with
that
a fucking
borscht
strawberry
and
sundae.
gefilte fish doesn't come in a Happy Meal.
No.
That's an unhappy meal.
I went from unhappy meals to Happy Meals.
Happy Meals, yeah, overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and we came here and we came with our, you know, so we moved straight to West Hollywood because that's where the Russian
Yeah,
Ukrainians were,
yeah.
right?
Whereabouts?
We were so the first
Santa Monica Boulevard or
Santa
what?
Monica, right by Crescent.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Santa
about.
Monica. We were on Havenhurst and Romaine.
Fucking damn,
Yeah.
dude. There you go.
Yeah, that's like, and if you go down that street, at least when I had an apartment around there, somewhere right there, and I'd walk by all these Russian, like, deli things.
Yeah,
But I always wonder, like, how are they in business? I never see anybody in there. I don't know. It seemed kind of like, I wasn't quite sure what the deal was. Do you understand how these delis work?
I mean, I'm sure it's one part something sketchy going on, you know. But also, it's like that's where you go to get, you know. It's like that's where we go to get our food, you know. We go to get our little stuff that they don't
sell out right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
John's though, John's got some shit, you know.
Yeah, John's is like a little sketch.
Yeah,
Just a slight sketch on John.
Yeah,
that's true.
But John's got everything, you know. Like every culture
absolutely.
they got it covered. Not every, you know,
but most of
them, yeah.
Right. It's kind of like Superior grocery store.
Exactly.
So you're 6.
Yeah. Okay. I come here. I'm 7. We land, you know, and again, I had a good, you know, like I had a good upkeeping, you know, and it was, like it's funny because people called me the last time I came on here. My name was Russian Danny. That's what people called me.
Right.
You know?
I still got you in my phone as
No,
well.
I took note of that.
Yeah.
The minute this bullshit started going down, I was like, we got fucking Danny's the man, bro. So
well, it's a, you know, and I was born. My first language was Russian. You know, I speak Russian. That's still my first language. You know, I can't change that. You know,
right?
And when I was, you know, and it's like I was born in the Soviet, which was all fucking Russia. You know?
That's what it was.
But then this shit cracks off, and I can't fucking be fronting like that.
Nope.
You know, I can't. You know. So I had to switch it up.
Come with the real.
Ukrainian Danny,
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, Russia fucking pretty much, I mean, they fucked up the Frank card, right?
Yeah.
They had, I mean, so, okay, so
you had
then,
to pull back your shit and go with the real.
well, I mean, that's the way it is. Just because people speak English doesn't mean they're from Britain.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Shut the fuck up,
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So shut the fuck up. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so you know, I grew up here amongst my people, you know, and this is kind of a funny one too that I was thinking about. I was a kid and I got into vandalism. You know, I got into graffiti pretty young.
Yeah, bro.
Vandalism is
Vandalism is great, bro.
Vandalism is an American
California
tradition.
thing, especially in California.
We didn't have,
love that.
Yeah, we didn't have vandalism in the
You
former
didn't?
Soviet. No, I mean,
what would
They chop your hands
dude,
off
you'd
over
be
there.
Fucked. Yeah.
No, what would happen?
Oh,
Chop a finger off every broken window.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be all bad. It would be all bad. So yeah, and I started
Freedoms
messing around
of America,
tagging.
you see?
Yeah, dude. You can always tell. Oh, yes, I got it. We could go off on that for the next 10 minutes.
So I start, you know, me and
Start
some
lighting fires and shit up.
Yeah, me and some little
Laughing at the
homies
cops.
And,
They're like, this ain't Soviet shit. This is easy. What are you going to do? Put handcuffs on me? Beat me with a rubber hose? I'll laugh about that all the way home, motherfucker. All right, sorry, go ahead. Please try. Will you tell your story,
Yeah,
please?
I'm trying, God. Yeah, so I met these kids, you know, and they were like, we had these kids that like they were in the neighborhood. We would all hang out at Plumber Park. You know about Plumber Park.
Screwdriver. Walk around with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
I do know about that.
And so we would all hang out there, and we started writing on shit. And these kids kind of saw us this going down, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna." And we didn't know what was up with them, you know. They were just like older kids that would smoke cigs, and they would like, you know, we looked up to them, you know. They had like they had cars, you know, and
It was Lepke.
yeah. And they were like, "Hey, we're gonna get you." They were like, "Hey, we're gonna get you some spray paint." And we're gonna get you some spray paint and have you start like vandalizing shit, you know, and like we're gonna start a crew because we didn't know what we were doing. We were just writing on stuff, just
of course.
We didn't know. They're like, we're gonna start a crew for you guys, and we're gonna get you spray paint, and we're gonna get you guys. And I don't know why they did this. They got us some tracksuits, you know, like so we all had little matching. It was like me and like 3 or 4
That makes
of the
total
homies.
sense. Who are those guys?
Yeah.
I want to talk to them.
Yeah, right. So they were like, we're gonna start this crew for you, and it's gonna be called RGB. Which stood for Russian gangbangers. You know, that was our little. And now looking back at it, you know, I was like, come on, you know,
Right.
But whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but that was,
Yeah, come on.
So we would go and we would go and we would start. They'd be like, all right, go paint this spot right here, you know. And we're hanging out. And we'd be painting, and we didn't know what they were doing. So we were the distraction for them because they were going in and they were doing like burglaries and doing home invasions and shit. But like the cops would pull up and would see us and would jam us up. We're like 12-year-old kids, you know, while they're really doing the dirt right there. Genius. You know.
But see, you could only come up with that kind of a scam in the Soviet system.
Oh yeah.
Right. That's why they make the best criminals.
Oh
Yeah,
dude.
bro.
So much subterfuge.
sure.
Right. Right.
We're gonna get you guys outfits and paint and put you to work.
So, yeah.
We're gonna get you.
12-year-olds. Hey, Vlad, how come all of our tracksuits are day glow? Like, how come they're neon? Don't you worry about it. You just spray paint right here, right next to this gold jeweler. Don't look this way and
Love
never
it,
say
dude.
my name.
Best criminals.
Best criminals. All right, go ahead. That's good.
Yeah. It was, you know, it was like I had a fun upbringing, you know.
Right,
It was
Happy
cool.
Meals and then
Happy
Vandalism.
Meals, yeah.
Welcome to
Track
America.
Suits, what's up? You know, I'm here.
Hey, you know what? Let me ask you this: with coming from that country and your parents having to do all they did, and your uncle, and everybody does all this, and you know, Ukrainian, Russian, like when people are coming from another country, you know, they come with a lot of pride, and it took a lot of work and sweat to get there. What happens, and where's your family's position when they kind of start discovering, and you start getting involved in like drug use and drugs and that type of shit? Like, were they like fucking just bummed that you were taking like
bummed,
this up? We brought you to America type thing, and now this is what you're doing.
They were bummed. They were bummed.
How early on did you start fucking around?
By the time I was 14, 15, I was full on like tweaker, like bad tweaker, you know. When my little brother just turned 21, and my mom, I remember her telling me like she was pregnant. She could tell something was up, you know. I was wearing Jinko pants at the time. That's the first red flag, you know.
Right.
Jinkos, what the fuck, you know. Shaved my head. I thought, you know, like I did a little bit of meth, you know. And we weren't even smoking it then. We were snorting it, and I immediately like thought I was a cholo, you know. So, like I was, you know, like my everything. 3XL, everything, you know, fucking Ben Davis, big pants, you know, the Jinkos kind of went away right there, you know, it was like no more spiked hair. I shaved my head, and nobody told me that, like, right when you shave your head the first time, I don't know, I've never really done it ever since, you know, but you can't be going into direct sunlight with a fresh shaved head. So I got
you get
baked
blisters.
beans,
sunburn on the dome, it was bad.
Keeling.
Yeah. And my mom was pregnant with my little brother, and I remember her telling me, like, she goes, hey, I don't know what's up with you. I don't know what's going on, you know? But whatever it is, all I want is for you to just be there. Just to be there at the hospital. Just show up at Cedars. This is the due date. Just be there. You know, I was kind of like living out of this garage in North Hollywood with some homeboys at that point. Like, I would run away from home and go stay there with them and come back to, like, you know, to eat a little bit of food and get some whatever, you know? And then go back over there. And she's like, all I want is for you to show up when your brother's born. I was like, you got it. I'm going to give you my word, and I'm going to be there, you know? And I meant it with every single bit of my, you know, I meant it. And you know what? I showed up into the hospital. I get to Cedars. I go, hey, I'm here. My mom is in the whatever. She's delivering. I'm here to see her. You know, I almost said her for her full name, whatever. I don't need to say her name. You know, Yelena, bleep, you know, whatever last name. Yeah, I'm here for Yelena. She's pregnant. I'm here to see my brother be delivered. I want to be there. And they were like, sir, Yelena checked out 3 days ago, you know?
Fuck.
Man. All I want, you know, like I wanted to so bad, you know, to be there, you know.
Yeah.
And I know you know.
I know.
Dude. you know.
You're the last one to find out, bro. God damn,
being, you know,
man.
Like
it's almost like you try so hard that you can't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, like there was. I remember my dad like being like, man, like my dad asking me, you know, rest in peace, you know, and he was telling me like, when are you gonna come back to this planet, you know, like when are you gonna come back from wherever the fuck you are, whatever universe you're in, when are you gonna come back here? And I'd be like, Dad, chill, I'm good. You
How
know?
old were you when he was asking you to come back to Earth?
I think I was probably in it was just the 10-year anniversary of him passing, so I was probably in my early 20s, you know.
And how did that conversation come about?
Man, I don't know, you know, I would see him like, my parents split when I was around, like when I was in it was weird. I went to Ohio. I was 15. I was like 14, 15. I just finished junior high. Okay. I went to Ohio because I had some family out there. So my grandma and I would go out and visit my cousin and her sister out there. And we came back, and right when I came back, my mom picked us up from the airport, and she was driving. And she was like, hey, we're going to go over here. And I was like, oh, what's that? And she was like, oh, it's our new apartment. I go, oh, hell yeah, what are we? Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, literally, that was how she broke it to me, you know? And she's like, and I also found this weed pipe. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean?
Oh, everything's bad.
All at once, yeah. And
so was that Ohio trip in place because she needed to
probably,
get things together?
Probably, yeah.
All right, take the kids to Ohio. I gotta fucking do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like, you know, my dad was a big drunk. You know, everybody in my culture, that's what you do. You drink. You know.
Well, let me
vodka.
Let me ask you about that. That's an interesting point because I think at least to be honest with you, I don't know a lot about Ukrainians exactly, right? I know some things, sunflower and that kind of stuff, but I really don't know the difference between Ukrainians and Russians. Now, the stereotype about Russians is it's just one country full of alcoholics.
Yeah.
Right? They're all just knocked down, drag out drunks. That's part of life.
vodka.
Right. Right. And believe me, potatoes, let me tell you something. Potatoes come from American Indians. There was no potatoes in Europe before Columbus. So I don't know what the fuck they were making their vodka out of, but Russia owes a lot to American Indians.
Yeah, oh
Your
yeah.
alcoholism,
Everything, yeah.
right, is due to us. That's the truth.
Okay. All right.
So in Ukraine, right? And was it the Soviet mentality, or was it the culture that made drinking so prevalent? Why is there so much drinking, and is it in Ukraine?
I don't know. I wish I had an answer for it. It's just so it's what we do. You drink, you have a little snack, you drink, you have a little snack, you drink, you have a little snack.
And what's the snack?
The snack is, so we have this stuff called sala. And sala is I feel like every country has their own, maybe not every country, but every country has their own kind of smoked pork product, It's kind of like bacon,
right.
pancetta, prosciutto,
right.
And we have sala. And sala is just the fat. It's just it's smoked
Pork fat. But it's not a crackling, and it's not a chicharron.
No.
And it can stay in a cupboard for multiple days at a time without going bad.
Is it soft?
It's soft. Yeah, it's
Do you
soft.
eat it hot or do you eat it cold?
You eat it room temp.
Temperature.
Yeah,
right.
room temp.
And does the
little
fat
piece.
just coat your teeth?
Yeah, it just goes. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. It's almost okay. When you go to Korean barbecue, the little stuff that they put on the grill before you start throwing?
Yeah,
It's kind of like a chunk of that.
Right.
It's rowdy. It's rowdy.
That
And you
breaks
drink
it up
that
so
with
you can
vodka.
drink more.
You drink,
yeah,
so
you can drink more.
That, yeah, because it sucks
takes
up.
some-
Yeah, the oil side, and then you just drink. You eat a little salad.
That's
have
just
a pickle.
straight chemistry, bro.
Yeah. You do a pickle chaser.
Yeah.
Pickle chaser. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like a kosher
breaks it all
vodka
down
pickle.
so you can drink more fucking
Yeah.
vodka.
Yeah, and I think, I guess that's like American beer nuts. I mean, people are just eating beer nuts and drinking.
Or like tequila and lime. It's like
Except it's vodka and pork
vodka
fat.
and pork fat. Yeah.
All right, so everybody's a drinker. So your dad's a drinker.
Dad's a drinker. My grandpa, my other grandpa, dude, this is crazy. So my other grandpa, he was my mom's dad. So he was kind of a well-known. He was kind of like a well-known dude, and he was like, his dad was a writer, was a pretty well-known Ukrainian writer, and
Really?
so he kind of came on. He had a little, he had a little condo. He had some stuff, and he found his passion in fishing. And he was like, I want to be a fisherman. Which is kind of a crazy thing to, but whatever.
I mean,
yeah,
what?
not whatever. That's his
Right,
thing.
that's his thing.
Yeah.
Could be worse things.
Yeah, exactly. So what he would do is he would fish and he would drink and he would fish and
That
he would
makes
drink
sense.
and he would go out on his little boat and he would fish and he would come back and sell the fish, would get a bottle and would drink, and my grandma couldn't handle it.
There's actually a lot of people out there doing that.
Right, there's people doing that right now.
for sure.
My dad was doing it.
My dad loved to fish. That's all he wanted to do.
Because there's an unwritten rule in international law that as soon as you set foot on a boat, you can be a
Open
drunk.
up the beer. Yeah.
It doesn't matter
Goes
what
hand in
time
hand.
of day. You're that sea captain with the red nose.
Yeah.
Never heard of any fucking captain getting a DUI.
Never.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
But
Thank
that's because of what is it? Maritime law, right?
you. I don't know what it is. All I know is that
Sounds good.
I swear to
sounds
God,
good.
it's almost so prevalent that it's almost like you could actually, if you only got drunk on a boat, you might be able to still claim sobriety. I'm not saying you can, but it's almost like, well, it was on a boat.
And the
I don't
captain's
know.
like, if this thing goes down, I got to go with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to tell
You
me
can't
not to
be
drink.
sober.
Right.
If you're going to go down with a boat, I'm going to be fucked up. You ain't going to make me do that.
Right.
And most messes that are done on the boat can just be hosed off. So, right?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so he's
a fisherman.
fishing.
Yeah. He's going out. He's fishing. He's drinking. He's going out. He's fishing. He's drinking.
I like this guy already.
Yeah, he's
me
great.
too.
Yeah. Oleg.
Oleg.
Yeah. Oleg Masenko. Yeah.
Oh, let me say, I love that, bro.
Anything with an enko sounds
Yeah.
tough.
Oh, yeah.
All right, please.
And my grandma leaves him because she's like, I can't hang with this. So, hey,
Not only do you smell like vodka, but you smell like fish. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Where does she
he goes
go?
out. Yeah.
When she leaves, when a Ukrainian woman leaves her husband because he's drinking and fishing, where does she go?
To her sister's house.
To an artist, to an artist. She married an artist,
Okay,
But
very
I'll
good.
kind of wrap it in with.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
no,
about
why?
them. Yeah,
All
this
right.
and the, yeah.
Yes.
So she's the one that we just she's the one that we had to go and get out of Kiev right when this thing started. So I'll come back to that.
Yes.
Oh
my God. This is how we
she
planned
leaves.
it.
Yeah. And he just keeps drinking and he keeps partying, drinking, fishing. So
As
we
one
moved
does.
here, and maybe about a few years into us living here. She would go and check on him, because he didn't have many people there. My uncle that was there was a drunk. She would go check on him, make sure he was okay. And she shows up one day, and there's like a steel, like one of those security doors at his condo, And this isn't a man that goes to. I mean, we didn't have Home Depots, but he didn't go to a Home Depot-esque store,
Hardware store.
Yeah. To get a security door for his house. Like, no, he wasn't, he didn't have anybody to secure himself from.
Right.
So she knocks on the door and somebody opens it and it's this man and he has his family with him. And she goes, what? Like, where's Oleg, And she looks at him and they go, oh, we just bought this condo from blah, blah. And she's like, well, where's Oleg? She's like, oh, we bought this condo from a realtor, whatever. And she starts digging and she's like, well, where the fuck did he go? So we get a private investigator. My mom flies out to Kiev. So we start looking for him because he wouldn't sell the apartment. Like he wasn't, he was too busy drinking and fishing. And, he don't give a fuck.
He was set.
Yeah. And we get this private investigator and we find him in a little village, right? In like a little tiny village.
In Kiev or here?
No, he never made it here. He never, yeah.
There's no
Okay, all right.
It's
This is
actually,
Kiev,
not yet. The village is one of these villages that really got wrecked by the Russians. It's this town called Yerpen.
What is it called?
European.
European.
Yeah, European.
You drank so much European.
European.
Right.
European. It's spelled IRPIN. IRPIN. European. Yeah.
Did you ever get into that Russian lettering? Can you
Dude,
read that?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
We got
Okay,
that.
I'm going to write, all right. Hard luck for you guys in there. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I got you.
So they find him.
So they find him in this village,
European.
and he's hanging out. He's got a little shed, like it's way smaller than this. You
Right.
know?
Downsizing.
And he's hanging out, and she's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, I met these women. They came over. They were like, hey, come party, And they bought a bunch of alcohol, and they took him, and they left him there. And this was apparently a big hustle post-Soviet Union where they would come, and they'd be like, come hang out with us. And they would have them, people like, these senior citizens sign over their property to them, and they'd flip it, So we get an attorney. We fucking go to the, all
A
this
Ukrainian
shit.
attorney.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And we get him back into the apartment.
No shit.
After like 6 months of trying, we get him back into the condo, And a few months later, she keeps checking on him, and she comes by and she knocks it and she shows up one day and there's a new screen door and she goes, fuck, I already know, I already know the get down. And she knocks and it's somebody else. And this time she's like, well, at least I know where the fuck, which village it is, And she goes back there and walks in and finds him and he just passed away.
Oh,
he drank himself to death.
That was that.
Man, that's fucking hectic.
How old was he? About?
Probably about, like maybe mid 60.
Wow.
I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
mid 60s.
That's young.
Yeah.
And so, did your father die of this disease as well?
My dad did too. Yeah.
I mean, not to ask a weird question, but how do you know when someone dies from alcohol? I think my dad died from alcoholism too, but it wasn't like they declared that.
Yeah.
But he drank so much that his liver was cirrhotic a little bit, and the drugs that could help him, his liver wouldn't clean. So that's how he died.
My dad had a heart attack. But he drank so much and he smoked so many cigarettes that it was like, he had some kind of, he didn't go to the doctor and he didn't get for a long time, he was too busy. He was like an alcoholic workaholic. He would work and he would drink and he would work and he would drink and he would work and he would drink.
That's the formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that generation where it's like if you're not stressing about something, then you're not trying hard enough.
That's exactly right.
Right.
That's exactly
And
right.
he like stressed himself, and
How old is he?
He was 55. Young,
That's super
55
young.
years
Young,
old.
dude.
Yeah.
My
Young.
dad died at 52.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know your dad was that young.
He was young. He was fucking young.
52?
Yeah, he's fucking young.
Wow, man. Well, man, to both you guys, man, that's send a prayer out there right now.
Yeah.
Both you guys died. That's young, man.
It is.
That's what this disease does.
It's true.
That's what happens.
But I mean, before we get to that, so you also said though that your grandmother, right? She married an artist.
Yeah.
How did that? How do we circle back into all that?
Oh man.
And Mr. and Mrs. Earbuds, if you're driving tractor trailer right now and you can't watch the YouTube, Danny's whole face and demeanor just changed.
Yeah, so she met, I'm not sure how they met, but yeah, he was a really good dude. Vadim Ignatov.
Vadim. I had a
Vadim
good
Ignatov.
friend named Vadim.
Yeah.
Vadim.
I'll show you guys
Vadim.
some photos of his art too, because he was an amazing Ukrainian artist, and they got together and like they had a beautiful life together. We had a dog that I found here. These kids had a dog and they couldn't keep it, so they gave me. So it's like I was like, I'll take the dog home, and I told my parents I found it, and we made flyers to keep the dog, like to found dog,
Yeah.
And nobody fucking lost the dog, so of course nobody's gonna call. So we ended up keeping the fucking dog, and it was like a nightmare. The dog was fucking barking all the time, keeping the neighbors up, like, and I love that dog, and when we couldn't keep it anymore, but we looked and looked for who we could send it to, and nobody wanted it because it was like a little demon dog, I was like, fuck that thing, a little terrier, and my mom called my grandma Ina, and she was like, you know what, I'll take the dog. So we flew the dog out to Kiev, and it spent 10 years living there.
No way!
Fat. Yeah. It was eating sala and probably gefilte fish and whatever other
Living
leftover-
life.
Did they like the dog though? Huh?
Yeah. So it was my grandma, Vadim Ignatov, and the dog. And that was their little family. And he was a pretty successful artist.
What kind of art?
I'm not good with describe. Abstract.
It was abstract?
Yeah.
Painting?
Yeah, painting. Yeah, oil. Like amazing.
Did he have like a little studio?
He had a studio, and he showed his works. Yeah, he showed his in Spain. He showed his works in Ukraine. He showed his work like in Italy. He's like he was pretty
dope.
well. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So he and my grandma that stayed there. So most of my family came here. My grandma, my dad's mom moved here with us. My dad, my mom, and I came here. And I had my uncle. There was a drunk there that passed away, and then my grandma that was in Kiev was taking care of Vadim, and her grandma and my great grandma. And over the last 5 or 6 years, they all kind of passed away one after the next, except for my grandma that was like our last immediate family member that was still there, that was still in Kiev. And she was, and we visited her. I was there. When was the last World Cup? 4 years ago? In 20... we don't need to look it up,
Right.
Okay. The last
You're
World Cup-
probably the only
Yeah.
one in this room that even knows what the World Cup is. So we'll just go with whatever. 4 years ago.
So the last World Cup, which just so happened to be in Russia,
Okay.
Right.
I was there.
Wow.
I was, my mom and I went, and we went to a game in St. Petersburg, and then we went and we visited my grandma in
Kiev.
in Kiev. Yeah, we were hanging out.
How much had shit changed when you visited?
It was crazy. I mean, my first time going back, when I left there, we didn't have any department stores. We had like one department, like there was one Sears that was like where you went to get everything,
Right.
And I came back, and there's fucking sushi restaurants on every corner, and an Aston Martin dealership. I just remember being like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
And like Ukrainian dudes trying to front like they're Japanese, like.
You know what's a trip, man? Is like
solid sushi.
you
Yeah,
take
solid.
your traditional American family.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And you got your lineage, and we lived either in like this state that you live in, or maybe like you've got an aunt back in Florida, and
Right.
But your family's all really here, phone call away. You see them during family functions or holidays, and it's interesting when you have when you have friends or people that have come from a whole nother country, and their family is all over the place. And there's like going back and forth and all these crazy stories, but at the same time they're having to keep up with like the Joneses as well.
Right.
But they don't have the layers of all the stuff like somebody like you might have. And I think I just find it really, really interesting, especially if you're a kid acclimating to America and everything that you're trying to fit in and figure this out, but you live in a community that's really not part of the American community.
Or it's like interpreting that thing through their lens. Right.
And then you've got all these other pieces of you and your family in other places where you're going, and they don't make any sense here, and it's all different there. Like, it's just a lot, bro. I mean, I find it interesting.
Yeah.
I think it builds so much character and depth in somebody because there's all these layers and all this stuff, and America is very much like if it doesn't fit into this, then it's odd or strange, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? That's true. And I would say that what you're saying, Lux, is really true now, more now than ever before. Because a lot of the American system, I think, as much as there's a certain contingency that seems to be against it, really is built on the concept of people like Danny's family, or even your family, Big Lux, if you go back far enough, coming here with their drive and their culture and their ideas, mixing it and finding what works here, and then building on that. Because a lot of what American, quote unquote, dominant, let's say dominant culture is, right, is really like old Dutch culture or old German culture. That's really, when you think of like Midwest fucking potatoes and all this bullshit, right? That's not just old Dutch fucking oven bullshit, right? That's what that is. So I think the system is actually built like that. The problem is when one group got a leg up, they didn't want to help anyone else get a leg up. They just wanted to secure their spot. So I agree with you, Lux. And I think right now we're maybe at the most standardized universal. And the reason I think it's that way is because the American system's it's not just here now, it's been exported to other countries. Just like you said, there was all of a sudden it was like Japanese fucking shit all over the place. And also, let me ask you this. When you went back to Ukraine, or you went back the first time, could the native Ukrainians smell the America on you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'll tell you. Okay, so I mean, they were shook when they would hear me speak their language, you know, because all of a sudden I go back and it's like the shit that I'm wearing ain't what they're wearing,
right?
You know. And I got like that, and I got a nice tan. You know, my haircut's all crazy. You know, like they're like, what?
Dude, they must have thought you were like a Hollywood celebrity.
Yeah. Oh,
Did you get laid off that, bro?
No. I wanted to lie and say yeah, but I'm not gonna.
I would have been hitting them Ukrainian ladies like crazy.
Left and right.
Right.
Yeah.
But so okay, so you went back, you visited your grandma.
Yeah.
And
this
then,
was we went to my mom and I went to the world. I had 3 years sober. So this is 4 years ago. Yeah, I had 3 years sober. Yeah. And I was actually, so when this something else crazy. So I was born in Kiev. I was born in 85. You know what happened in 86?
I know.
Chernobyl.
Oh, right.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
So
Yeah,
Chernobyl
that's in
happened,
Ukraine.
you know, yeah.
Right.
And that's really close. I mean, it's literally one town over. So the wind starts
That's
really
why
close.
you
Yeah.
survived, bro.
Yeah,
You're
that's
like
why-
a mutant.
Bro, that's gnarly, bro.
So the wind starts blowing in the radiation, you know,
Holy
and
shit.
the Soviets and the Soviet government is saying, "Oh, there's no nuclear reactor. You're safe. Don't worry about it."
Don't worry about the solid
Don't
glowing
worry
in the
about
cupboard.
it. Yeah, the fucking the three-eyed fish from The Simpsons. You know, we're eating three-eyed gefilte fish.
Right. Pink Chernobyl.
And they're like, no, don't worry about it. And then they started saying like, oh, there's actually radiation coming in, you know? So they were like, hey, and children and senior citizens should probably stay indoors. And my grandma got us a ticket and took me to Estonia, where we stayed with family for 2 years. you know?
Right. And just for the uninitiated, what is Estonia?
Estonia is it's another country. It's a Baltic country that it was another. I'm not sure if I think they were a part of the former Soviet Union. They were, yeah.
They were, but it's like, so if you're an American and you are a geography idiot, like most Americans, you just imagine like there's all these tiny little countries somewhere near Russia that was somehow part of the Soviet Union. Estonia was one of those.
Yeah.
Okay,
Beautiful country.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the Estonians.
Tallinn, no.
Zagreb,
Tallinn
we
is
love it.
amazing.
Yeah, Tallinn. Okay.
Yeah.
please.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Mwah.
Yeah.
But
So
Americans don't know.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So 3 years sober, my mom and I went on. She worked for the world's largest amber wholesalesman. You know, like Jurassic Park, the fuck, you know,
No
amber, yeah.
shit.
And they had a store on this cruise ship, on like a Princess Cruises. So she was like, "Hey, for your 3 years sober, I want you to come with me on this cruise, and we'll spend 10 days on this, you know,
Sounds
this
beautiful.
cruise of the Baltic, you know." And it was like, dude, we did
How much caviar did you eat?
a good amount of
Yeah,
caviar. Yeah. It's funny because my mom will like I got caviar in my fridge right now.
Yeah, you do.
I made
Beluga, too.
Hey, I made eggs and caviar.
Yeah. But basically, that's just two types of caviar, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
exactly.
eggs and eggs.
Land caviar,
eggs,
good
Right.
caviar.
Yeah. Feather caviar, scale caviar.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So we go on this thing, and it was around the time I had 3 years sober, and I was in Estonia went on my 3-year sober anniversary, which is where I was when I was fucking 2 years old when Chernobyl, when we had to flee for Chernobyl,
Wow.
you know, which was very cool.
Spawning like a salmon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Yes.
And so we went back and we were in Kiev. We went and we saw my grandma there. One of the things that really stood out to me, and this will tell you about how crazy the drinking culture there is. So we went to the grave to my grandpa. Both of my grandpas to their graves while we were there. You know, the one that
Fish.
the fish one, and the other one that was the one that died right before we came here. And so we went to their graves, and what people do is they'll have a drink at the grave, and then they'll leave a shot there for their loved one that passed away, so you have a drink with them, right?
Right.
But then there's these hooligans, you know, and that's what my grandma calls. She goes, the hooligans. Look, she goes, watch out because the hooligans are coming, you know? And what they do is they go because they know that people are going to come and visit their loved ones.
Free drinks.
And they drink it up. You
Yeah.
know? Can you blame them?
No, absolutely
It's
not.
like leaving a hit of fucking
Could you imagine?
crack in the
Yeah,
pipe
right, yeah.
fucking by the grave. And we could come smoke.
Yeah, it's San Julian Park. You know, that's for the dead homies. Yeah.
You black out face down on someone's grave.
Leaving a joint on Bob Marley's grave.
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
Shit, right.
Right.
Yeah. So we went and we visited her and everything. You know, we had a great trip. It was awesome. We saw her. We saw my uncle. He passed away a little bit after that. And fast forward, this war starts.
Right.
You know, this war starts. And you know, and I got a few homies there, and it starts kind of hitting me just how, like, you know, at first I was like, oh, it's not gonna happen. I'm talking to her, and she's like, no, don't worry about it. We're gonna be fine. You know. And the war starts, and it kind of starts hitting me where I was like, dude, like, if my parents didn't do what they did to get me out of there, like, I would be in that, you know, I would be fighting.
Right.
And then I get a thing where I'm like, you know, like, I get like that, what's it called? Survivor's guilt? Is that what it's called? You know?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I need to go back, you know? And I remember telling my mom,
I
like,
need to go
Mom,
sign up for the
I'm going to
fucking
go.
Rambo,
Yeah.
dude.
I'm going.
Oh, yeah?
You know?
That crossed your mind?
Bandana,
Yeah.
a fucking knife.
Yeah. And my mom's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know? I'm like, oh, I need to go. You,
You
know?
couldn't
Like,
even handle a demon dog.
Yeah,
man.
right,
Like,
come on.
I'm gonna fucking go over there.
Like, Mom, I was shooting sawed-off shotguns in North Hollywood at 15, you know?
Yeah.
I was hitting licks, you know? Like, and she's like,
This ain't you.
Yeah. She's like, stop. You know, she's like, hey, do you realize how hard me and your father and all of us
work
to get you here, you know?
Right.
She's like, first of all, who's going to take care of me? Like, you know, like, who's going to take care of me and your grandma here? She goes, and then second of all, like, what makes you think, like, wouldn't that be, like, you know, she's like, and I was like, but what if that's what my calling is? What if that's where God wants me? She goes, if that's where God wanted you, then that's where you would be right now.
And listen, and you know what, dude? You know, we talked about this, and I talk about it a lot lately. Like, you hear how, like, just how nonchalantly he's like, his parents like, who's gonna take care of grandma? Who's gonna take care of me?
Yeah.
And that's like a big part of like this, like what you're saying, this American culture where like people go off and forget about their family members or their elders,
true.
man. They stick them in like and I find that other people from other countries will stay together.
Yeah.
Either if not in the same house or they'll be taken care of and looking out. And I feel like I don't know, man. I love hearing stories like that.
The economics for people who come from other countries and a lot of immigrants is such that they do got to band together, right? Like my mother-in-law and my wife, they still send money back to Guatemala, right? So there's none of that. But and it's a whole other dynamic. But
Yes.
the issue is, okay, so you're like, oh, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna arm up. I'm gonna take on fucking Putin myself. Your mom's like, calm down, cowboy.
Chill
the fuck out.
take it
You got
easy.
you got to think it through. Think it through, kid. So you're like, all right. So then you guys are like, okay, so we gotta get grandma out, or what do you do?
So we're talking to her. We're like, hey, how you doing? And she's like, don't worry, it's fine. It's not as bad as the news are making it seem. She's like, it's not, you know. She's like, it's all, you know, like. It's not as bad as you think it is. Like, I'm fine, you know, don't worry. And there was nothing going on. Like, there was stuff. Obviously, there was a war that was going on, but nothing had happened in Kiev yet.
Right.
And she was like, don't worry, yeah, I'm fine, you know. And this is like a month in, like maybe 3 weeks to a month in. And then we start getting some shelling and we start getting some stuff in Kiev.
How do you hear about this? How does it come to you?
I mean, she would start telling us, we're watching, you know, it's like we're watching the news, we're watching, you know, like my mom has Ukrainian news, you know, my grandma here has like you know, two Ukrainian channels. So we're seeing it, you know. And we start, you know, and it's like you start seeing places like that, you know, like it was like me seeing that same, like the fucking statue of Lenin get pulled out. It's like my mom seeing the mall that she used to go to get stuff at, you know,
Getting
like
bombed.
being bombed, you know. And we have friends. We have a really good friend that's like a showrunner for this big Ukrainian network that would come out here every year and do all this stuff. And he's in his like 50s, and that motherfucker ain't fighting no wars, you know. Like he ain't getting strapped up, you know. Like no way. And there was a shell casing that landed in his living room and took out one of his rooms. He had like a three bedroom condo and took out one of his rooms, and he had to go into like move it. Him and his wife and his kid had to move into the neighbors across the street that fled, that were like left as refugees, into their house because they fucking had just a hole in the side of their building.
Right. Did that guy have, since he was a showrunner, did he have any interactions with Zelensky? Because Zelensky was a celebrity.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. You know, I havenn't asked him. I mean,
You should.
maybe. Yeah, I got to ask him.
Are
Yeah,
you sure
Slavic.
you're not like
Slavic.
intelligent?
Yeah.
How could you not have asked him? You're probably hiding shit.
Yeah.
So did grandma have to get pulled out or no?
So we're talking to her, and she calls and she goes, "Hey, you know what? I think I got to get out of here."
Your grandma said
Yeah.
that.
She goes, "I think it's
Now,
time
are
for
you
me to
guys
go."
able to sponsor her out of there?
Well, that's what she's been in the green card lottery for the last 7 years. She's been waiting to get her fucking ticket pulled, you know? Like she's been waiting to get it. And she was in her very final stages. All she had to do was get like her health screening and a few other things and finally be good to come out here. And then this happens, you know? So now they're no longer, they shut down, first of all, they shut down the embassy right away, you know?
Right.
They move all the cases to Frankfurt, you know? That's where
Germany.
where the embassy that's now handling all the thing. Every single person that has family there is trying their fucking hardest to get them out, you know?
Of course.
And so we start trying to see what we could do, you know? We start, and she's, you know, we start looking at organizations that could at least get her out of Kiev, right?
Right.
And we find one organization that's like, hey, we can put her on a bus. We don't know where it's going to go. We can't guarantee that she's going to get out safe. It's going to get to a border. It's either going to be Poland, Slovakia, or Hungary. One of the three.
Can
And
you
we don't know
imagine
which
being
one.
this woman
Yeah.
that's about to get put onto a bus and she doesn't know where
She's
But
never
she's
left.
tough, though,
but
right?
she's never left.
Don't
She
matter,
never left
bro.
the
She don't know
former
where she's
Soviet
going,
Union,
bro.
I know,
she never came to visit us here. She's always been. She's been in the Soviet.
It's a woman,
that's all
bro.
she knows.
But
You know.
no, I get that. But how old was she when she was living through? She lived through different versions of the Soviet Union.
She's lived through a lot.
Right. And I'm not
lived,
minimizing.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying.
yeah.
But she's also
She's an old lady.
She's
Go ahead.
75, but she's
75.
tough. You know,
Right.
she's a
Go
tough
on.
75.
She
you know?
didn't say pull me out right away. She said she waited until somebody got bombed next
Go
to her.
on.
She's all, yeah, you know, she's like, don't worry about me. You know? So we find an organization, and they're like, we're going to put her on a bus, but we don't know where it's going to go. We don't know if it's going to go to which country. We can't guarantee that she's going to make it out of there.
Right.
We don't know, you know, but because the way it worked was they would open up these humanitarian corridors where you could get people out, you know?
Right.
And certain borders would open up, and Poland was really good. So we were kind of looking, and we're like, all right, we're going to wait to see what happens. And once she gets on the bus and starts moving, then we'll see about getting a flight and meeting her wherever she was at.
Right.
And she calls us and she goes, hey, it looks like we're going towards Hungary. We're not sure, but it's looking like we're going towards Hungary. And she packed everything she had into, first of all, there was no luggage in the country because everybody was fleeing. So you couldn't find, like she took a backpack and one little carry-on like bag without wheels on, with like a rolling bag with the wheels broken on it, you know, and packed everything she owned, everything she
entire
could
life.
take. Yeah. Everything, you know, she left her, oh man, she'd kill me for telling this stuff about here. She left her bottom, she got a flipper, you know, a partial. She left her bottom teeth. Because that's how fucking, you know, like on edge she was.
Right.
And she got on the bus. We got an Uber driver, like, picked her up that morning and got her to the organ. And, like, as she was driving, you know, she saw the town and she saw, because she lived in her little house and she had her little store and whatever. And she really got to see the town and just how serious this was, you know. And, I mean,
All the
city,
devastation.
Yeah. And she was like, fuck, I can't believe that this is how, you know, like, I really can't believe it. And, so she gets on the bus. We get a call from her. She goes, hey, it looks like we're going to Hungary. My mom and I booked tickets. We fly into Budapest. We land there. We get a van that picks us up and takes us pretty much right to the border, as close as we could get to where they're coming in.
Okay.
And bam, we connect with her right there.
Awesome.
And we get her to Budapest, where she stays for 5 days. And she was so shooken up. She didn't like. We had a room and it had a little balcony, and she was like too shooken up. And she's a big smoker. She loves smoking cigs, you know. And for her, she didn't want she was like nervous to go outside and smoke a cigarette on the balcony because what she had just lived through, you know.
Right.
And we stayed there with her for 5 days, and then we found a family. These two women in Germany, in Potsdam, Germany, which opened their homes up to help refugees. And they were like, hey, we wanted this, what we wanted. We have a home, we have an extra room. One of their moms was living with them that passed away. And the one woman taught Russian in her university. German woman, so she speaks the language. So they opened up their home, and we got her there. And she stayed with them for about 3 months. We stayed there for a little bit, for about for 2 weeks, just to make sure she got settled in. Got her to the doctors, got her to the dentist, and got her a new bottom grill. And and then it started the process, you know. And we were trying to get to the embassy, and there was people camped out outside of the embassy, you know.
Man,
and
this is gnarly shit, bro.
This is real life.
This is real life shit, bro.
Right.
I mean,
they're not camped out waiting for an iPhone.
or a Supreme drop.
Yeah,
know?
bro.
Exactly. This is a fucking embassy.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, when we were in that hotel in Budapest, because by the time we got to Germany, it was crazy because you walk around and like Ukrainian, you know, like it's a language that I don't hear very often, you know. And I'm a fitness guy, you know. I like to work out, so I had class pass, and I'm looking for little like workout gyms and stuff that I could go to around town. And I would go, and you would just see these Ukrainian families just out, like, you know, and like just like out and about in Berlin, you know, because that's where we were, in Potsdam, which is right outside of it. But in Budapest, where we were, the hotel we stayed in was 70% Ukrainian refugees.
Wow.
And you would see these kids, you know, these like young kids with their mom, and their dad can't leave the country because he has to fight, you know?
Right.
And he can't leave. It don't matter. It don't matter what you know, like, and it's not like they chose to be in this war, you know? It's not like they're like, we're fighting.
Somebody else chose that war.
Yeah. And their dad can't come out. Or you see these little old ladies, and, you know, like these little old ladies that are there on their own, and they got their cat or their dog with them, you know? And it was like, I've never seen it. I've never experienced anything like that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, bro.
It's hard to fathom when you live here what that really looks like.
Yeah.
Where's grandma go?
Huh? So we get her to Potsdam, where she stays, and then Potsdam.
It's a crazy name.
Yeah. It was the city where I'm a bit like, I like to think of myself as like a history buff kind of guy, but it was where it was where the bridge was, where there was I believe it was a Tom Hanks movie about it, the Spy Bridge. You know?
Oh yeah. What was that? I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they
That's
did an exchange.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the bridge was right next to Potsdam. Yeah.
East and West Berlin.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Right where it
gotcha.
breaks
All right.
off. Yeah.
Iron Curtain. Thank you. Very good. Not Iron Sheik. Go ahead.
Yeah, different.
That's an interesting, different thing.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. So then.
So she stays there, and she stays with these women, and we start trying to look up resources to get her here, you know. And I don't know if you guys remember, there was a lot of Ukrainian refugees that were flying to Mexico, right? And they would come into Cancun. They would go to Cancun and then fly into TJ, and then they would walk them through the border, and they were letting in X amount of refugees, you know, but that wouldn't guarantee them staying here.
Right.
Which is also, you know, and then it's like, so then I started looking at that, and I'm like, how fucked is that? Where, you know, like, why is it that, you know, like, why is it the Ukrainian refugees are being fucking allowed through the border? Like, walk through the border, you know, and like,
right.
Which is, yeah.
There's a lot of people pointing to that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not the Ukrainian people's fault.
Yeah,
right?
no, exactly.
God bless them. So I get it, though, for sure.
Yeah, I get it.
And even in Europe versus the Muslim refugees, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
totally
the Syrian
different,
refugees,
completely different fucking thing.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah.
So grandma,
we're like, maybe we'll get her down to Mexico. I end up driving down there and like going to the refugee camps in TJ and some of the churches where they're coming in and getting resources to get her here. And then we find out that, and then Biden signs that executive order to let in, I forget how many Ukrainians it was, you know? So she gets a white card, which is basically like it's a 2-year green card.
Right.
And we get her here. She hopped on it, you know, my mom flies out.
How long is that process? That was like fucking 6 months, 8 months?
No, it was, she was in Germany for, I think, 3 months, and then we got her here. Yeah.
But this was the first time she'd ever been to the United States?
This was the first time she was ever out. She never left the former Soviet Union.
Holy fuck.
Never.
So did you take her to McDonald's and get her a Happy Meal?
Oh, hell yeah. We took, my mom's like, we got to take her to get Thai food. I was like, what? She wanted to get Thai food?
Thai
Yeah.
food.
She's
Right.
like, no, man. She's like, whatever, you know.
Yeah, you got to crawl before you walk.
Yeah, exactly.
Mom wanted Thai food. Good.
Yeah, so it's been really cool. Like, you know, yeah, she's here now. She's living with my
California,
mom. Yeah.
the fucking creme de la
Okay.
creme of the United States.
But it's how, you know, for her, it's so difficult because she doesn't speak the language. She doesn't speak a word of it, you know, English. And people will, you know, my mom lives in Beverly Hills adjacent, you know, and and it's illegal to smoke cigarettes in Beverly Hills, right?
Oh, come on. Your grandma doesn't know from
She
this.
don't know, you know.
What the
yeah,
fuck are you trying to know? Right.
So and there's only one place where it's so funny. There's only one place where she could like really sneak away to go smoke, and that's at the junior high across the street where from my mom lives, because that's the only place where there's like a little area where she could kind of like not get fucked with by anybody.
Yeah.
You know? So she sneaks out and she goes and she smokes cigs outside of the junior high, you know.
Right, with
and,
the other junior high kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why. And I guess the security guard there came up to her and she was like trying to talk to her. And in some broken, I don't know how she explained to him that she was Ukrainian, you know. And the guy went, you know, he was like, okay, I'll see you, know, and left. Like, didn't give her a ticket, didn't arrest her, thank God. You know, that would have been all that.
Imagine that.
And he comes back the next day and walks up and he goes, Dobro ranko, which means good morning in Ukrainian. He went and he learned a little Ukrainian so
That's
he could fucking
dope.
communicate.
I love that.
Yeah.
What is the difference between Ukrainian and Russian language?
So a lot of people ask me this question, you
Well,
know.
now here I am.
And here's another. Yeah. And the best way I could explain it is like Portuguese and Spanish.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay,
yeah.
I understand that right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like at least from a sort of a textual and or structural similarity or common tie, but the pronunciation completely different.
Way different, yeah.
Yep.
So most Ukrainians, at least from like my generation, I'll speak Russian because Russian was our first language.
Right.
But Russians don't know fucking, you know, it's like they don't understand shit about, like they don't know Ukrainian.
They don't have to.
Yeah, they don't have to, yeah. Ukrainian similar to Polish. There's a lot of like similar Polish words, you know. Mine's like a little broken, so it's almost like a Spanglish, you know, like my.
But you're able to talk fluent with your grandmother?
Yeah. Oh yeah, in Ukrainian and Russian. Yeah.
That's dope.
What brand of cigarettes does your grandma smoke?
You know, I don't know. She was smoking like whatever she was smoking there. She kind of was like smoking some like the Pall Malls of
Right.
the Ukrainian Pall Malls.
Real
And
shit.
we were trying to find her something here. I don't, you know. Last I saw, she had some like those like the crushes. You know, I think she. Like,
I thought you were going to say Terrytons or something. Hey, man. It's such a fun. How often? We never get stories like this in here, bro.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, man, you know what, dude? That really, more than anything, you describing that and sharing the cloth of your family, the fabric of your family, dude. I mean, yeah, I'm really impressed, bro. I mean, the love of your family, man, and the lengths you guys go that you went to get your grandmother and to go back and forth and check on grandpa and like all the different things, man. It's beautiful, bro. I'm like so glad you shared this with me, man.
Dude,
I didn't know that much about you, and that you've really done a lot, man, and you've really had to show up a lot for a lot of things in life, man, for your extended family, man. It's dope, man.
What I'm grateful for is Danny's story put a lot of stuff in perspective.
And a lot of stuff we just take for granted.
I mean, just this story was like, you know, it just makes you go back and think,
Chernobyl, the fucking war.
don't worry about the radioactive dust.
Fuck, dude, like
But it
gnarly
also,
shit.
But it also, you forget here a little bit how it's as crazy as everything is. You forget how good you got it here,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And you also forget that if you put a little more elbow grease, a little more focus, and stop fucking around a little bit, you could actually do something in this country.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm grateful for Danny's story for that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Motherfucking G shit. G shit, bro.
Blue Eyes, what are you grateful for? Danny, we have this emissary here from Ukraine. What are you grateful for, you bastard?
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the Hard Luck Show. HardLuckShow.com. Also, Sean at movemental.media for all your audio and podcasting needs.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what, Danny? Go ahead and plug yourself. Plug fucking
Plug
the show.
yourself, Danny.
Plug yourself in. Plug yourself. Yeah, and give us fucking It's All Bad. Like, light it up. Light the mic up.
All right. So, so we got It's All
Feed the
Bad.
Streets,
We're a
all that.
podcast. We're coming back, season 3.
Yeah.
We had the live show that Lucky was at, man. Thank you.
Yep,
I mean, we
yep,
had
it
a
was the
fun.
best.
We had a great time. We're maybe gonna have a little take it on the road this season. This is
What?
you heard it here first.
Yeah.
On the road. We going out into the world. Yeah.
It's
What does
all
that
bad
look
out
like?
on the
What is that
world.
gonna look like? You guys are getting an RV? Or
We
what
got. I don't know yet. I don't want to say. I don't want
Okay,
to jinx it.
all
You
right,
know. But
all
yeah.
right.
But it's looking cool. It's looking like we're gonna
That
have some
sounds
cool
fucking
stuff coming.
badass.
Yeah. Yeah, Feed the Streets. We got, we got some cool stuff coming up. We got a cool Thanksgiving Day going down. You can look us up at Feed the Streets LA on Instagram or feedthestreets.info. We're always looking for volunteers. We're on Skid Row Tuesday mornings, Thursday mornings, Sunday nights. We just had our homie with Vivid Color come and paint the studio today. He gave me this fucking this
dope.
is his paint. He actually painted this himself on this
That's
thing.
dope.
That's fucking
dope.
dope.
So we got an office. Shit's going down. It's just I don't know. I'm really grateful to be here with. I'm grateful for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for Hard Luck.
How do
Shit.
people find you? How do people find you? What's your Instagram?
Oh, my Instagram is LA Scumbag.
How did you get that before everybody else, bro? That's a
OG Scumbag. Hey, my girlfriend's like, when are you going to change it? You're not a scumbag anymore. I can't. What about you?
You're like, that's my brand,
Yeah,
man.
it's the
Don't
thing,
fuck
yeah.
with the brand.
Yeah.
Get in there. Get in there. Give a shout out, bro. Hop on that
Come
mic.
on,
Give a
Christian,
shout
get
out.
in there.
Shout out OG Snoop.
That was a real shout out.
He needs some training on that one, bro. We got to get him on the ball.
Hey, shout out OJ Snoop.
At Cookies, Los Angeles.
At Cookies, I didn't even stop
Cookies LA.
smiling throughout the whole thing. Hey, shout out to
Yeah.
OJ Snoop.
Yeah.
All right, Ovando Bowen LLP, we were braids to court. Let the tomahawks fly. The best legal representation that money can buy. Those of you that have been following me on TikTok know that I had a fucking supreme doubleheader win on Friday.
Yeah.
On
Money.
Friday. And so you too could win if you get with the Indian.
Money.
Oh,
Yeah.
What do you got there, Steve? You're holding up something beautiful.
Cubanos by Vibes.
What?
Cubanos. If you don't know about this, one of our sponsors, too.
Yeah.
Vibes Rolling Paper. So check them out. I want to give a shout out to Cookies. Cookies SF or at Cookies Clothing LA. And big shout out to Burner and the fam. Big shout out to Esteban Oreo and the Soul Assassins. And www.supermaxhardware.com.
Real quick, Steve, before you get to that final piece,
Yes.
I saw an article that Burner, he wrote a little bit about talking about the legacy of the Cookies clothing brand, that it
Yes.
wasn't just a fly-by-night thing, that they've been working and building on that for years. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
It
I've
was-
seen multiple articles on it.
Right, and he was responding to people who had said, they kind of gave it a little short shrift, and he was saying, you guys don't understand. The clothing isn't just because we sell weed. It's because we put a lot of design, thought, energy.
A clothing brand, bro. And they've been at it for a long time. This is no overnight shit.
I wanted to highlight that.
Yeah,
so
and you
people
know
got
we're
that
going to
straight.
talk about that, and Burner's going to be coming on the show. The other thing is big grand opening, New York City, on October 30th. Herald Square will be there. Come out there and see me in New York. And yeah, man, big shout out. Feed the Streets. I want to thank Danny for coming out.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Hassan as well, if you're listening. Feed the
Hassan.
Streets and the work that they're doing out there, helping people, man. I'm just great to have you here, man.
Thank you.
You're just a great member of our community, great member of the Hard Luck fam. I love you guys, brother. Thank you for coming on the show.
Love you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
brother.
on. Thank you.
All right.
And we're out of here from the Hard Luck Show. Hasta la vista.
They say if you flip your flop, you get whipped. We talking about big motherfuckers that look like Lepke
Yeah.
that be like tripping out. Bro, no. Hello. Dick in the cup. That motherfucking OG, there he goes again.